Did he hurt himself, John, last night, or did he hurt Trump, or both?
There we go. In the category of we want to avoid the false binary, I think there's no doubt he hurt Donald Trump in the sense that, what we predicted last night when we were in that room watching it, we said, Mike Pence will be overshadowed. The questions of why was he allowed to speak? Why was he put in that time slot? This is disloyalty. There's booing from the convention floor. We never get to see that. That's been the story all day long in the press, wall to wall, plus all the follow-on stuff that we showed people there. That's not good for Donald Trump. That's not good for this convention. I think the long-run question about whether it hurts Cruz's political future is the thing that we can't tell, I think, from here in Cleveland, which is how did that speech play outside the hall, and does Trump win?
Yeah, and does Ted Cruz have the ability to expand his base 4 years from now if he does run again for president? He certainly has not endeared himself to the people who care about Donald Trump's nomination for Republican regulars. And you hear lots of senators saying today, this is why Ted Cruz is the least popular of the senators.
Right.
So I think that I think probably Trump, if he performs well tonight, will be fine. It won't have hurt him in any long-term way. Certainly heard the coverage of night 3. And I think Cruz, it could go either way. But it was quite a moment.
Oh.
These conventions.
You were right in the middle of it. You were in the middle of it. The emotion was high, right?
These conventions have become 4-day, very planned. They try to minimize anything. The Trump people knew when they put him up there that he might not endorse. He wasn't planning to. Right. And on the floor, as the speech went on, and the delegations figured out that he wasn't going to endorse. Right. There was intense passion and anger at Cruz, and Cruz, who gave a very good speech, as did Mike Pence, ended it with being booed off the stage at the Republican convention.
Again, I go back to my point. Booed off the stage, even if it's one of your principal rivals. He was the runner-up for the Republican nomination. Booed off the stage in Cleveland. It just isn't a good look for a convention. The thing I think you're saying, which I thought was striking when you were talking about last night, because you were right in the middle of it all last night, was in these pre-planned, pre-packaged events, genuine emotion, genuine anger. People really seething mad about what was happening.
The Cruz people put a lot of thought into the speech. Listen to some of the things he said last night, which sounded to my ear uncharacteristic for Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Freedom means religious freedom, whether you are Christian or Jew, Muslim or atheist. Whether you are gay or straight, the Bill of Rights protects the rights of all of us to live according to our conscience. Our party, the Republican Party, was founded to defeat slavery. Together, we passed the Civil Rights Act, and together we fought to eliminate Jim Crow laws. Those were fights for freedom, and so is this. Sergeant Michael Smith stood up to protect our freedom. So did the family of Alton Sterling, who bravely called to end the violence.
So a lot of things there that stand out to me. Defending the right of atheists is not something I would associate normally. What's going on with Ted Cruz and some of that stuff?
I think we all agree that at least part of what's going on here is Ted Cruz positioning himself for 2020. That speech, those parts of that speech to me sounded like the kinds of things Ted Cruz would have said were he the Republican nominee at this convention in an attempt to broaden beyond his normal base. And he's still making that same speech, basically putting down a placeholder for what kind of a candidate he will be, assuming, as he clearly does, Donald Trump is not just going to lose, but potentially lose badly, and his stature will therefore be enhanced by what he did last night. That's still an open question.
He says he's still waiting. Maybe he'll endorse, but at this point, I'm not sure they'd want his endorsement.
Right. Yeah, totally. All right.